Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa prediction and breakdown at UFC 282 in the main event of the pay-per-view. Now, y'all might be thinking, what in the world, Bert? Main event for a UFC 282 pay-per-view in December? I'm gonna say yes. I'm not saying this will happen. I'm saying this is a very likely possibility to happen at UFC 282. We got Darren Till fighting Drihu Duplessis on this fight card, most likely in that co-main event. We have a few other middleweights and welterweights on the card as well. Edmund Shabazian, Robbie Lawler, Drihu, and Joaquin Buckley and things like that. But I'm saying Khamzat told the UFC, told Dana White, told the whole world that he's going to be fighting in the middleweight division by the end of 2022. Well, is it going to be a main event of a UFC fight night? I don't think so. I highly doubt it. Is it going to be the co-main event of a pay-per-view? Possibly. That could be the case, but looking at UFC 282 right now, nothing really screams main event just yet. And yes, there is Yuri Prochazka, Glover Teixeira. Could be the main event. There is John Jones and Stipe Miocic. Could be the main event, but if neither of those fights get made, which right now it's not looking like they're going to get made, but if they do, obviously we're going to switch my plans up a little bit, but if they are not made for the main event of UFC 282, Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa, in my opinion, seems like a perfect fight for the main events of UFC 282 in December. I think it'd be an absolute banger again in Las Vegas, Nevada for another pay-per-view. And now, on for the prediction, because I've been talking about why the fight should be made, when the fight is going to be made, and things like that, the reasons to that, but we haven't talked about the prediction. I mean, we have Khamzat Chimaev, 6'2" tall, 75-inch reach. The striking of Khamzat Chimaev really is not too bad. Was able to go out there and land some good shots on Gilbert Burns, pressure him, and use his striking very, very well. Was able to knock out Gerald Meerschaert in the middleweight division in 17 seconds. So the striking of Khamzat Chimaev is very, very legit as well. But the grappling, we all know the grappling is where he does his best work. Beating Jack Hermanson in a wrestling competition. Beating Kevin Holland by submission. Jingliang Lee by a submission. Reese McKee and John Phillips on the ground with ground and pound by submission. We know Khamzat Chimaev has that ability to go out there, take the fight down on Paulo Costa, smash him in round number 1 and get the submission. It's a good possibility to happen here with Paulo Costa and Khamzat Chimaev. And Paulo, he's only lost to strikers, which makes this a lot more interesting because I'm looking at the record of Paulo Costa as of right now, losing to Israel Adesanya, who's undefeated at the time by second round knockout. Got caught with a left hook. Do you think Khamzat Chimaev is going to catch him with a left hook on the feet and knock out Paulo Costa? I highly doubt it. If this is a 5-round striking fight, well, Paulo Costa is either going to win a very close decision or Khamzat Chimaev is going to win a very, very close decision because Paulo, again, only loses to good strikers. Israel Adesanya by second round knockout. Marvin Vettori in a very close 48-47 decision that could have gone either way. I think it definitely gone to the right person, but we saw what happened with Luke Rockhold out there. I mean, Luke went for a lot of takedowns, failed miserably on a lot of those takedowns, was able to get one towards the end of the fight, but it's really going to take a grappling and wrestling efforts of Khamzat Chimaev to go out there and beat Paulo Costa. Because like I said, Khamzat does not have the kicking ability, the countering ability to go out there and knock out Paulo Costa. Because if he goes out there like he did with Gilbert Burns, pressuring Paulo forward, looking to land some big shots and put on the pressure and volume towards Paulo Costa, well, he might get countered with a big Paulo Costa shot that he knocked out Uriah Hall, Johnny Hendricks, Oluwale Bamgbose with earlier on in his career. He could definitely get countered by Paulo Costa as he is coming in. So Khamzat Chimaev's game plan here, in my opinion, is to use that pressure, use use that volume, come forward on Paulo Costa to make and mix in the takedowns. He does not need to go out there and try to prove anything like he did with Gilbert Burns. He does not need this to be an exciting back and forth striking fight for 3 rounds that could go either way on the scorecards that Khamzat barely wins by a 29-28 decision. Khamzat doesn't need to do anything like that, like he did in the Gilbert Burns fight. He just needs to get the fight to the clinch, hold on, get the underhooks onto Paulo Costa. Do not try to freaking double leg Paulo Costa. Don't be trying to freaking single leg him or pick him up and slam him or anything like that, because Paulo's got good hips. He's very strong, very good very good lower center of gravity and things like that. So the takedown defense for like doubles and singles against for Paulo Costa, I kind of advise Khamzat Chimaev, don't go out there trying to go for a double leg takedown or anything like that. Do kind of what you did against Kevin Holland, where you either get the body lock and you get him to the side and you kind of just roll him like that to get his back onto the ground and get that half guard position, get the full mount, try to ground up and look for the submission. Or you kind of just get the fight to the clinch, get the underhooks, duck under one of the arms of Paulo Costa, and try to do what a lot of grapplers are doing recently and getting the back of their opponents. I mean, I'm not saying Khamzat's the type of guy to do it, because I haven't really seen him do it inside of his UFC career, but it's kind of where you get the body lock, you get to the clinch, you get one hook, you get your right hook hooked around their left leg, and you just jump over to the back of them, and you just swing them down to the mat, looking for that rear naked choke submission. I kind of see that as the best path to victory for Khamzat Chimaev to land the takedowns, because, like I said, I don't really see Khamzat going out there and easily landing a double leg takedown on Paulo Costa. If I was Khamzat, I would never be wanting to go for a double leg on Paulo, because if you go for the double leg, Paulo's gonna sprawl very, very hard, put his hips into you, land a few ground and pound shots, push you off, and you're back up on the feet. It's really just not a good game plan, in my opinion, to go for doubles on Paulo. So, again, the clinch, getting the body lock, and either doing that little throw thing like he did with Kevin Holland, getting his back to the floor, looking for ground and pound, looking for the submission, or trying to get those hooks in against Paulo Costa in the cage, kind of like Charles Oliveira did against Dustin Poirier, kind of like what Andre Muniz did against Eric Anders, someone like that. But look up those two fights, Andre Muniz and Eric Anders, as well as Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. You'll see more of what I mean, of him getting the fight to the clinch and literally just jumping off to the back and looking for that rear naked choke submission. So in this fight with Khamzat Chimaev, Paulo Costa, I don't think we're going to see a super high amount of striking. There will be some instances if Khamzat's not able to get the finish. This could be a full-on fledged, Gilbert Burns, Khamzat Chimaev striking fight, but I'm assuming that Khamzat Chimaev will be able to either get that clinch, get that trip takedown, get the clinch, get the back, and get the rear naked choke submission or Darce choke in round number 1 or round number 2. It's a very good one. Khamzat's going to go out there pressuring, looking to get the takedown. Paulo is going to be countering with huge shots, looking to knock out Khamzat Chimaev and trying to defend the takedowns at the same time. It should be a really close one. Who do you guys think wins, Khamzat Chimaev or Paulo Costa in the middleweight division? Again, I think it's going to happen at UFC 282, but I would not be surprised. Maybe it's on UFC 283 on the main card, because that is a Brazilian card. Imagine Khamzat and Paulo in Brazil on the main card. That'll be absolutely insane. But no matter what card Paulo Costa, Khamzat Chimaev's in, it's going to be an absolute banger of a fight, whether it's a fast submission, a fast TKO from Khamzat, or we get 5 rounds of action and striking between Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa. Either way, it's going to be a banger of a fight in the middleweight division. But who do y'all think wins? Put your predictions down below. Make sure to comment. Make sure to like this video. And if you are an MMA fan, you want more predictions like these, you want some MMA news, which we're going to post very, very shortly, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.